welcome back to Kirklees Guitar School. Today we're going to have a look at Tennessee Whiskey by Chris Stapleton. Now this song's really interesting. It's the same 8 bars that go round and round and round, and it's just a multitude of layers that all get sort of piled on top of each other. Now it's actually a mashup of 2 songs. Tennessee Whiskey was originally done by David Allan Coe in the 70s, and then Chris Stapleton's kind of added this Etta James, I'd rather go blind kind of vibe to it. So let's get into it. Now, there's a free PDF for all the slides that I've got today. You can download for free, and the free tabs for it from the first link in the description. That'll take you to our private Facebook group. Join the group, head to the Files tab, and you'll find it there for free. Don't want anything from you. Right, so we're going to start with the strumming for this. The chord, in fact, let's start with the chords that we're actually going to use today. So we've got an A major, B minor. Now I'm using the cowboy chord version. You're more than welcome to use the bar chord version if you like. Either's fine. And then you've got A sus4, which is an A chord with the added 3rd fret on the B string with the 4th finger. Now this is the entire progression. We'll talk about the strumming pattern in a second, he says. There we go. So we've got A major for 2 bars, B minor for 2 bars, B minor for 4 bars, A major, A sus4 to A. This is what we're going for. So let's have a look at that strumming pattern. Now, we're in 6/8 time, and the rhythm is down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. So we've got a downstroke with a quaver, and then a quick down and an up semi-quaver, followed by another downstroke, which is then repeated twice. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. Pause the video and try that for me. So then let's apply it to the 8-bar progression that goes round and round and round for the song. So we're going to do that for 2 bars. Let me get my volumes sorted. We then go to B minor. Stay on B minor. To A major. A sus. Pause the video and get that under your fingers if you need to, but I'd just like to spend a second just talking about those last 2 bars. So you know how I said when we were talking about the strumming pattern for the song, you can split the bars in half into little sort of three quaver chunks. You can play down, down, up, down on the A, put your pinky on that 3rd fret to get the suspended chord, and play the remainder of the pattern. Then take it off again to go to the A. Now, if you're like me and you've got sausages for fingers, you can do the bar and play the sus with the 2nd finger if you want. If you are able to do that, I'd much rather that you do that for me, okay? So pause the video and get this under your fingers. Now, this is the 8-bar rhythm and chords that underpin the entire song, okay? So this is the first layer. If we're happy to move on to a bit of lead guitar, let's talk about this bit. Now let me just play that for you. I've got a loop on the loop pedal, so we're going to try this today. Let me know what you think of this. If you can hear stuff in context we're using a loop pedal, do you prefer it or do you like it when I just explain it without demonstrating? Let me know in the comments. Let's see if I can remember it. Let's try a close-up. What do you think of the looper? Let me know. That's all three of the layers that we're going to talk about today, all piled on top of each other. So let's get into that then. So we're going to start with the open E string, followed by the second fret on the E string, and then we've got the open A, which is, we're in the key of A major, by the way. We're then moving into the second bar, going to slide with his ring finger into the second fret. Sorry, into the third fret, I should say. So let's just do a little bit of a... so second bar, sliding from 2 into 4. Now it's really important that you do the slides with your ring finger because we're constantly coming back to this home bass down here at the bottom of the neck, okay? First 2 bars. I'm then going to go back to the second fret quietly, slide into the 4, back to the 2 in one fell swoop. And then the open string. And if you pick the occasional note that you're not supposed to, like I just did then, like the picking police aren't going to come and get you. It's okay. Moving on to the next slide, we've got a quick 2, 4 and back to 2 on that A string, which sort of bookends the phrase. I should have probably put that together. It sort of bolts onto this. And then you've got that. It'd be much easier if you had the PDF and the tabs of this to follow along with. Head to the first link in the description, you can download that for free. Right, moving into the second bar of this bit, which is the second part of the phrase. We're going to slide from 2 to 4 independently twice. So I'm going to pick the 2, and as soon as I pick that 2, we're sliding in, and then I'm going to move back and do it again. Then without sliding into the 4, I'm going to pick the 4 and slide back into the 2. It's very slippery as this riff. It just sort of goes round and round and round and round, and there's lots of this going on, okay? Pause the video if you need to, or if you're okay with that, let's talk about the very last bit. So again, we're sliding from 2 into 4 and then back again. And then we're going to pick that open A string. We're going to pick that twice, okay? Now, you see this line that's connecting these two? I call these washing lines. Now, what that means is you pick that A as normal, you pick that one as normal, but then you let it ring out for the remainder of the phrase, which spans across 2 bars. And you're just holding on to that note and letting it ring out. So just a refresher, there's the whole thing. Have a go at that for me, please. And that will work directly over the chords that we've just spoken about. So those are the first sort of 2 layers. Okay, we've got a nice rhythm part, and then we've got a nice lead part that goes over the top of that. Now, in the choruses for the song, and in the PDF for this, what I've labelled as the choruses for the song, there's these cool little bits. Let me put this loop back on, and I want you to listen. There's the strumming, but then there's like almost like a bit of a Motown kind of... It's got this cool kind of like movements that a keys player would do. Let's explore that a little bit. Now, Chris Stapleton puts this over the choruses for the song. So if I was playing this with a band, I'd do the strumming in the verses minus the intro, and then I'd play this next part over the choruses. So let me find my right slide. There we go. Right, okay, so it's all based around a 7th chord shape, but I'm going to... I'm just going to pick the necessary notes. So I'm barring the 5th fret of the B and the high E strings, and I'm playing this. We've got a crotchet and a half rest, So a beat and a half rest, and then we're coming in with that 5 and 5, E and A, nice short and sharp like this. You see how I'm muting it afterwards? I then take my ring finger and I'm playing the 7th fret of the G and the B strings. But see how there's like, oh, now I've got my reverb and my tremolo going on in my amp, but there's a definite sort of gap between the two. I then bar the 5th fret of both the G and the B string, and as I play those notes, I'm going to hammer on to the 6th fret of the G to get that major third kind of, it's almost like, it's like that Johnny B. Good kind of, it's that kind of sound, like rock and roll. First 2 bars. Pause the video and get those first 2 bars under your fingers first. If we're okay, moving into the 3rd bar, now we're going to do the B minor chord, but we're going to actually do the proper bar chord this time. And what we're going to do, we're going to play that. I'm just going to pick through the chord, starting from the 2nd fret of the A string. I'm then going to move through the rest of the shape with a down, 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 up. And then can you see all these washing lines over here? I'm just going to let that ring out for the remainder. So you've got see what that sounds like with this. And then as we move into the next bit, so as you move into the next bit, after you've played that B minor, you don't do anything else for the remaining 3 bars of B minor that the band are playing. You're just letting that B minor stew over it all. And then we do a slide, which was in place of this, mind. So you see in the 1st bar, there's that crotchet and a half, that beat and a half rest at the very beginning. So we've replaced that now with a slide between the 2nd and the 5th fret on the low E string. So you're sliding from F sharp up to A, which is his root note, it's a really strong note. And then we play that little sort of like Chuck Berry lick again. There's so much value in that 6th fret there that you can use not only for Tennessee Whiskey but for improvising in general. It also kind of has like Beach Boys kind of vibes as well. So get that under your fingers if you need to. Now finally, I just want to, if you want me to cover the solo for the song, it will probably be in its own video, and I'm more than happy to do that, but let me know in the comments if you'd like me to do it, because it's it'll add a lot more time onto this video, and I think you've got enough as it is. But I just wanted to talk about soloing over this. We're in the key of A major, and I just wanted to give you some ideas for if you wanted to do some improvising over it. You could use either of these 2 scales and it'd sound delicious. So you've got the position 5 of the A major pentatonic, which looks eerily like the 1st position of the F sharp minor pentatonic. And you've got the A major pentatonic position 1, which you can practice in conjunction with these. These come in the PDF, by the way, and I've also mapped some of it out on a fretboard for you as well. Now, for those of you that haven't, that don't know what I'm talking about there, sometimes we can improvise our own solo over the, we talked about this. We talked about the 8-bar chord progression. I could set that going on my looper and use those scales to improvise a little guitar solo over the top. Now, if I was contracted to play this at a gig, I'd probably do an improvised solo over the top. So I'm not going to take ages, but I'm just going to use some of those scales to sort of create a little bit of a solo over that loop. Let me know what you think. students of the guitar, you'll be able to Google a backing track for that. If I find one, I'll put it in the description for you. I think it's really important that you're able to know what key you're in and use a scale that would fit over it to create a little guitar solo should you need to. That's not just for the fun of it as well, but also I've got those scales in the back of my head when I was learning how to play this and when I transcribed it, because I learned by listening, you see. So the scale gives you a really good clue as to what all the notes are. Anyway, I'll stop waffling. Tones. Chris Stapleton famously uses a Jazzmaster, so I know you don't need to tell me twice to get the Jazzmaster out of the cupboard. I absolutely love it. And he also uses sort of Fender style clean amps. So I've got the amp set clean with plenty of reverb, but I've also got some tremolo as well. So what that means is, tremolo is this kind of, if you think of something like Nancy Sinatra, I was 5 and he was 6, he made on horses made of sticks, my baby shot me down. Can you hear that? Whoa, 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 whoa. Now I've turned that up to the extreme. I've just got a little bit of tremolo. Now if you haven't got it on your amp, don't worry. It's very kind of particular sound to this era and this style of music. And then I've got the reverb turned up to 5 as well with a nice clean channel. I'm using the middle pickup or the back pickup depending on what I'm doing. If you're playing lead, go on the back pickup and play near the bridge. It kind of, it's almost like a faux Telecaster kind of sound, but it sounds really cool. See what I'm doing there? I'm picking back here. Doesn't sound as good. Feel like it sounds much better there. So, head to the first link in the description, join our private Facebook group, and you can get the tabs and the chord sheets and the diagrams for this completely for free. And I'll see you next week for another electric guitar lesson. Thank you so much.